From breaking up to uncanny situations you never thought you would find yourself in. On this episode of IMO, we react to r/relationship advice on Reddit and see if our unsolicited advice can turn some couples back from the point of no return. People, at the end of the day, even if you are able to maximum compromise, you will also have a limit to that internal patience. And eventually you cannot do anything but default back to yourself. And when you do that, then you come to realize that, hey, I actually cannot tahan. What's up and hello everybody, welcome to an episode of In My Opinion. My name is John.
My name is Alastair.
And yes, welcome back to another episode. And for those of you that don't know who we are, please remember to follow Overthink SG everywhere, from Instagram to TikTok to Telegram to YouTube
To Twitch.
Not Spotify.
Not
Twitch,
Spotify. Yes, everywhere. But yes, don't say crazy how they didn't change clothes for 1 week. Yes, because John is currently overseas by the time you're watching this. And we just wanted to film some backlog.
Yeah.
But it'll be a good episode.
When I'm overseas, I also did a mock-up of my entire room. So you all basically can't tell the difference.
Basically can't tell the difference. We should have just changed clothes, right? Why didn't we do that? Whatever, we are too far gone.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. We are owning it now.
Are we a fashion YouTube channel? No, we are not.
Last time I checked, no. Are we a YouTube channel? Barely. So therefore, this is what you guys get. But today,
are we?
Are we?
Yes.
Today, it'll be a more chill episode because 2 episodes in a row. But we'll be reacting to some r/love advice, which you guys loved the last time. So we're gonna bring it back for a second episode. But basically, this I have some r/love advice is basically a Reddit thread where people post their love dilemmas or problems and people try to give some advice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
they crowdsource their answers.
Yeah. And because we are obviously gurus of love, if you guys haven't figured that out, we decided
100%.
that we should spread the love, share our wisdom a little bit here and there. So why don't we start with the first one, John? Let me go ahead and This one, John, was curated specially for you. So
Right. I'm ready to give some sage advice because clearly you don't get smarter than me, local.
I hated every moment of that. I hate it. Let's move on. I am 32 female, pregnant after a big argument with my partner, 36 male, about not wanting kids.
Oh.
So this is a long ass post. By the way, I'll try to link everything
this
down
just
below.
went from funny to not exactly very funny.
It's not very funny anymore. We are in deep
fine.
shit now. But
We'll put on our adult pants.
Yes. Basically, it's very long. I won't read everything because it'll bore you guys. But I'll link it down below if you guys want to share your own opinions on the Reddit thread or you guys want to read it along those lines. So basically, TLDR, this person, she works in I'm a pediatric right now, is what she said, and I work with children every day. I do not want to have children on my own, not because I don't like them. I love kids, but I've dedicated my working life to taking care of them, and I don't want to also do that in my personal life. So, I mean, I understand.
Very valid point.
Very, very, very point. Yeah. So basically, she went to her mother-in-law's place, if I'm not wrong, or the parents' place, and they were talking about having kids and all along those lines. And apparently, they both agreed prior to the relationship or during the relationship that they will not want to have kids. It's a agreed upon thing. But then now I think her partner is thinking about it and thinking I might want to have kids, which also fair enough, right? Maybe times have changed and maybe your priorities in life change and you want to have kids now because you feel it's the right time. And they basically, that's what she said, the conversation about us starting the next chapter and having kids was about 3 months ago. I can't take hormonal birth control because I have a history of breast cancer and strokes in my family, so I've always used the barrier method. It has never failed before. My period didn't happen last month, and I chalked it up to stress due to certain things happening at work. It was late again this month, so I took a test and I'm pregnant, confirmed by an ultrasound today. I have not told my partner about it. I know accidents happen, but the timing between his mom coming to our house and him saying it would not be so terrible for us to have kids, and now me literally being pregnant, is bothering me. I know if I tell him about pregnancy, he'll be so happy and find a way to convince me to carry to term. On the other hand, the thought of terminating without telling him feels like the biggest betrayal of the 10 years of trust between us. So she's kind of in a little bit of a pickle now. So, John, the reason why I think this is something that you will be interested in is because you are very vocal about not wanting kids. And
Mm.
if anything, this will be something that maybe you can, I would say relate to, but like you can, I guess, kind of understand where she's coming from.
It's a scenario that I might resonate with,
Yeah.
like in terms of the mindsets that they're having.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
first impressions, John. What are your first thoughts?
Firstly, I will agree with what you mentioned about the OP being in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah.
Because currently there's this tiny pea-sized parasite gestating in her body.
I wouldn't go as far as to say parasite just yet, but yes, I get where you're
Hear me
coming
out,
from.
but yeah. Yeah. Umbilically connected to her, this parasite.
Yeah,
But okay,
yeah.
I think, and I'm guessing they're seeking advice on what to do, right?
Yes. The partner wants
First
children now,
things, yeah.
suddenly. But yes, go ahead, John.
First things first, I think she ought to pick the path where she discusses with her partner.
So you feel like no matter what, you should just discuss with the partner and say these things.
Yeah, definitely, and tell them that you are not ready. Like you see, if you say that you bring this up to your partner and your partner will try to convince you, right? Then treat your partner like an equal and bring it up and convince them, right? Because you don't want to be like you don't want to be swayed, right? That means you have to be firm in your stance. And to be firm in your stance, right, it can be very simple, which is to say that like, okay, I discovered that I'm pregnant. I don't want to do things behind your back because we're a team, right? But I really am not ready to be a parent right now. As much as we had this talk about being a parent, right? And I am going to do XXX.
Yeah. But what if?
Then take it from there.
Yeah, let's say scenario is that this guy, he really wants the kid, right? Okay, but like so far, we don't know whether the guy even really wants the kid. He just say it might not be too bad. But if let's say he really wants a kid to the point where like they get into a big argument and their marriage is strained or their relationship is strained, then
Yeah.
how do you go on from there? Because it's not like you can keep the kid just to keep your marriage, right? That's a terrible excuse.
If the difference can never be sorted out,
Yeah.
right, then and they are forever never to meet a compromise or to agree with the latter, right? To the point that even if the relationship failed, they still don't agree, right?
Yeah.
Then it's her body, her choice.
Do you feel like? Yeah, I agree. If it were me, I would definitely say like ultimately like if I were the guy and I want kids and she come to me and say that actually I don't want, I kind of want to abort and of course I'm not ready to be a parent, I'll be like, okay, I'll be a bit disappointed because I think I want kids, but at the end of the day, it's your choice and I'll still love you. That will be my response, and I think that's be the ideal response, right? But like as we all know, the reason why these stories exist is also because like some people don't have the ideal response and they freak out.
Yeah,
and
we cannot project who we are onto other people.
Yeah, and they maybe like hold the relationship hostage or to hold the marriage hostage and generally like bad things lah. So I'm just wondering like would going behind their back to abort the child and them not knowing about it ever, is that a choice that you feel is like completely off the table for you, John?
For me, I think it's a deal breaker.
It's a deal breaker like completely.
Yeah, relationship deal breaker. 10 years of relationship.
Yeah.
10 years of relationship, right? And when shit hits the fan, you don't come to me. Then what is this relationship built upon? Right? So
Fair.
even though it's 10 years and we wasted a decade of our lives, and if it comes to that, and I'm the person that wants the kids, but people go behind my back, and I find out, if I find out from them after the fact, it's already as bad, right? But if I find out from someone else or from something else, right?
Yeah.
No way this relationship is over.
Even if, okay, let's say for you, for example, like you and your partner have decided that you don't want kids, right? But like, let's say accidents happen, right? And then they got pregnant and they decided to abort it without telling you. Even though technically the conclusion will be the same as if you guys had discussed it anyways, would that still be a deal breaker for you?
Yeah.
So it's the fact that they don't discuss it is what you think is a deal breaker lah. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I agree. I also agree that like I feel like it's almost like like we are like a broken like tape recorder at this point. But like every
Yeah,
time,
because if
most
you
of
think
this,
about it,
yeah,
let's think of an imaginary scenario that might be easier to understand, right?
Yeah.
If let's say your partner is chilling in your house, but they accidentally set fire to a house and burn it all down,
yeah,
right? And then they one for one manage to replace everything in the house.
yeah,
Wouldn't you still want to know?
yeah. I would still want to know. Yeah, yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that communication is. I mean, as I said, we have like almost like a broken recorder at this point. But like we always say that, like I guess the best way is to talk about it, and sometimes people might not react well to it. And Denzel said, maybe they are not meant for each other. And I feel like
Yeah.
you can say that, but like I
100%.
feel like for a marriage is maybe. I guess I understand from this, like from the OP's point of view, that that statement is not something that is very easy to entertain, and not really something that you want to necessarily come to the point of, right?
Yeah, for
As
sure.
much as possible, we want to avoid the point where you go, then maybe you're just not meant for each other. Because obviously this relationship means a lot to them. So I do think there's a little bit of a pickle. And it also brings up, I thought the reason why I also brought it up, because I thought it was interesting that like, at the end of the day, like, what you want from life will change also, right? And
Yeah, for sure.
it's not just like pregnancy or kids or whatever. It's also like what you want in your life goals, like what success looks like to you. Maybe now you guys are okay with like just HDB is okay, but then next time follow on in life and then you start seeing other people, then you're like, oh my god, actually I want to live in a landed property. And these goals and stuff will change throughout the course of your relationship. And I thought it was interesting to see that like how couples deal with that changing life goals. Because a lot of times when couples get together, one of the first reasons they will say is because we have very similar life values and we have very similar life goals. And then I always feel like in my head, I was thinking like, oh my god, then how would they deal with it when their life goals don't align eventually? Like if they're lucky enough for it to be aligned forever, then good for them. But if one day it does change, then how would they react to it? And I was just wondering, how would you react to it if suddenly your life goals change a little bit? For example, like let's not take the kids thing lah, because kids is like a big no go for you. But let's say like money, like career and love. I guess for now you guys are a lot more focused on love and relationship as your priority. But in the future, maybe suddenly this person wants to make a run for like CEO or something, and have to go a lot more into work. Is that something that you can? How would you reconcile that with your relationship?
Try to compromise with the new normal in that sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, once again, I'm gonna say the same thing. And if it reaches a point where you feel like you're giving up too much and getting back too little, it's time to have a serious conversation, and B, if all else fails, to call it off.
It's always very
That's the only adult way to deal with this.
true.
Right.
I do think that there'll always be ways to compromise lah.
There will be, but there are also limits, you see.
Yeah, of course. I do think there'll be ways to compromise with regards to like I have thought about it before, because like I always thought that like the reason to break up being like unaligned life goals to be like always a bit weird, because I always thought like one day your life goals are going to change, and if you don't give me the chance to compromise or at least show that I can deal with it, then it's a bit weird to suddenly change it. But that's just me. But I understand completely other people like go like, oh, unaligned life goals is a deal breaker. But to me, I find it a bit weird. But it's just, I do think there's definitely going to be ways that you can have different life goals but work towards it in parallel. You know, you're not ever intersecting, neither are you like crisscrossing or it's completely overlapped, but it's always in parallel, and both of you will be happy. And I do believe that there's a way, as long as you first of all discuss it properly, set the boundaries, set the limits, and set the basic requirements. For example, if you still want love and the person wants to go more into work, then I guess maybe your basic requirement be like, okay, I don't mind you work late at home, but can you at least like every Sunday have dinner together? Every other meal you want, up to you. You go ahead and do your work. But like, I just want Sunday dinner. And then the person was like, oh, sure, let's have Sunday dinner. Like Sunday full, like don't even like have your phone off in the airplane mode kind. Sunday dinner is our sacred time. I feel like there'll always be ways to work it out, but maybe it's the idealistic romantic in me, What do you think, John?
It is lah, and I think it's too simplistic a view, but like people at the end of the day lah, even if you are able to maximum compromise,
Yeah.
right, you will also have a limit lah to that
Definitely lah, definitely.
that internal patience, and eventually you cannot do anything but like default back to yourself, you know.
Yeah. I think there will definitely
And
be
when
a
you
limit.
do that, and when you do that, then you come to realize that hey, I actually cannot tahan.
Yeah. I also think it's about understanding your limit and what you require out of a relationship. And if it doesn't
Yeah.
fulfill it, I won't say burn the bridge. Don't like immediately go to let's break up.
Yeah,
but like
always
try
try
to
to
work
fix
it out.
first.
Yeah. And then if it really cannot work out, you guys are both miserable for a very long period of time, then you guys can consider moving on lah. But
Yeah.
as I said, the romantic in me always think that like there's a way to work it out. But that might just be me. Shall we move on to the next one, John?
Yeah, let's do that.
Shall we do one more? We have 15 minutes already. Let's do one more.
Yes.
This one is kind of a short one, but I thought it was very interesting because it's something that I've thought about as well. And I'm trying to say a lot of things because this thing is not loading as fast as I thought it would. So let me just like say a lot of empty words so that I give it more time to load and I can make this podcast seem as seamless as possible because you guys are...
Singtel, StarHub, and other service providers, please sponsor us. Thank you.
It's not loading, guys. This is not loading.
Faster internet, guys.
What
faster
in the
internet.
world is going on? Okay. Back gateway? Oh my goodness. It just gave you a 502 back gateway.
It's redditdown.com.
Okay, you know what? I cannot remember it. Okay. Screw it.
Okay.
I'll go through memory. Okay. So the title of it is I accidentally said something that made my girlfriend feel sexualized. So I thought it was very interesting because I think if I remember correctly, the situation was that like the girlfriend said something like along the lines of like, I in the bathroom or whatever, and basically then she had a towel on and stuff. Then like there were some problems in the toilet and it's a bit slippery and stuff like that. Then the guy was like, cause then the guy said like, oh, haha, wish I was there. And I think the girl thought that like it meant as like in a sexual way, like wish I was there cause like the girl's in the naked in the towel lah. And she felt quite offended and she was very upset at him, like extremely upset.
Okay.
Like to the point where like she didn't reply his messages up for a while lah. And he said that he feels very bad because when he wrote that, he was like innocently writing that because he was like, I wish I was there so that I could like fix the problem for you, you know, or like I wish I was there to like just be there with you, not in a sexual way, just be there. And he feels very bad because like he can now see why that would have been misconstrued as overly sexualizing or sexualizing the girl. And I thought it was very interesting because like a lot of the Reddit comments on the thread were saying that like she was overreacting. Now it was like, oh, dude, like your relationship won't last. Like she's overreacting and stuff like that. But on the other hand, like this is something that is a bit of like it's kind of like an individual specific red flag thing, right? You can't go and like discredit someone's red flag or discredit when someone feels offended or overly sexualized. It's not like something you can go like, no, I didn't do that to you. If she feels that way, she feels that way. So
yeah,
I feel
it's true.
like it's a bit of a dilemma also because like as much as I can understand from the guy's perspective, he 100% didn't mean to do it. And I would have probably said some things in my life also that probably could be construed as sexualized, but I did not mean for it to be sexualized.
Yeah,
but,
and everyone's relationship dynamic is different.
Exactly. So I just wondering, like, would you, how would you do it? And then it says, then just clarify the girl law communication. So the guy was like apologizing profusely. What am I saying? Profusely, and like was like trying to communicate and like say that like, oh, I didn't mean to say that. That's not what I meant. But I guess from the girl's point of view, it might also look like he's just saving his ass from him saying a bad thing. Then it didn't go well, you know, right? Like I guess I can kind of see from both ends like how this was just a bad situation. How would you go about if you were the guy, John?
Oh, this is tough. First, I would apologize.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I would say, can we talk about it when you're feeling a bit better, so that we're not having this talk Wow, they're emotional.
Yeah, JSYP also says she might have had bad experiences before though.
Yeah.
Which is true. Like maybe she has had bad experiences before that caused this reaction. So that's why I say I don't think like dismissing it and saying that like, oh, she's just overreacting or she's just the quote unquote the asshole in this situation is
Yeah.
the right way to go about it. Uh
Mm.
but at the same time there's also saying that if the girl don't want to communicate, then how will the relationship last? I do
It
think
will not, lor.
yeah, I do think that like, some people have their own ways of like dealing with being upset, right? Some people like to talk about it immediately and some people like to like shut off for like 1 or 2 days. And I think maybe it sounded like they are in a young relationship, so they are quite
Yeah.
it's a fresh relationship. So maybe they haven't quite gotten that down quite yet. So maybe he might be like a bit panicky, even though to the girl maybe it's just like I'm just like trying to blow off steam for like a day or two. So I feel like that's also another important part of relationship that like you understand how to you can apologize. I do think you should apologize, but
You definitely should.
yeah, giving the space that if your partner needs a space, understand you have to give the space like that you try to
Yeah.
jam it down and like want to communicate immediately and solve the
Correct.
problem immediately will not solve anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
Because if you force people to talk when they're not ready, right, it just leads to more heartache.
Yes. Yeah.
And like, you remember when you apologize, when you make an apology, a genuine apology, right? You're apologizing for your actions, right? Not for their acceptance.
Interesting.
You're
That's a good
apologizing for your actions, not for their acceptance. They accept or not, right? It's the bonus you reap.
take. Yeah, I agree. Okay,
Think about it that way, right? Whenever you make an apology, right? If they accept, you are lucky. If they don't, you cannot complain.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I agree. And I also do think that like I guess this comes with like knowing your partner more as well. Like for example, I think I said it before on the stream, but like me and Kezia, when we first got together, I think I'm someone who is very anxious to solve the problem immediately in the past. So I want to talk about it immediately. That day I want to solve it. So I always believed in the old Tumblr quote in the past, like the whole like don't go to sleep angry thing. Nowadays I'm like whatever. But like last time I was like, oh my god, cannot go to sleep
Nowadays,
angry.
I just want to go to sleep.
Nowadays I hope I can sleep, full stop. But but like last time I was like very want to like talk about it immediately kind. So I always panic whenever someone doesn't want to communicate about it immediately. But Kezia is the kind that would like, because she thinks that she will not be very objective and she will say very mean things in the heat of the moment. So she believes that she wants to like take a day or two to cool off, which makes me anxious. But at the same time, I've learned to like go like, okay, this is something that she needs, and it's not that she wants to break out on me or anything. She just needs to like take her time with it. So and over time I've gotten better at giving her that space, and she's also gotten better at like going like, I'm okay, don't worry, I'm not gonna break out with you, because just to assure me, I just want to take some time out to think about it and before I talk about it with you lah. And then I'm like, okay, sure, fine. So there's that compromise as well. So I think that's something that I feel like the two of them can work on with regards to like communicating.
For sure.
But with regards to the sexualizing thing, I think there will be some times where you accidentally say something lah.
This might be a matter of boundaries, you see.
Yeah, it's a matter of boundaries and also a matter of like, there are some things that you will accidentally say or say without meaning to hurt someone, but you end up hurting them. It's not your fault, neither is it theirs. It's just you hit a sore spot and you just need to learn to never hit it again. And
you have to apologize for that.
Yeah.
You see? Like once again, you can make a mistake, right? By accident.
Yeah.
But do you apologize when you accidentally spill a cup of water on somebody's fresh clothes? Yes.
Yeah.
Right? It was an accident, but you have to apologize for the action, even if you didn't mean to.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's never good to like think of this as like a I didn't mean it thing and brush it off, because
just because you didn't mean it doesn't mean you don't do anything wrong.
I agree. And whether or not you agree with that he sexualized her or not, I feel like it's like not the point. The point is that she was upset and hurt by it, obviously for some reason. Maybe it's a past trauma, maybe it's a bad experience in the past, maybe it's just she doesn't like that particular line, who the hell knows, right? But I feel like it'll be good that if I'm sure that she'll continue talking to him eventually, then after he continue talking, and I feel like it'll be good for him to talk to her and ask and like find out more why lah, so that like next time he knows there's that boundary that he won't cross lah, instead of like keep having to step on a landmine to learn. I feel like it'd be good to have that communicative boundary lah.
Once again, it comes back down to communication.
Yeah, Denzel says then must communicate your communication methods. I feel like Denzel
You
is
absolutely
meaning on us.
must.
Yeah, I feel like Denzel's meaning on us,
You
but
absolutely
it's correct.
must.
I agree, 100% agree. Because like the way people deal with like fights and everything is like completely different from other people. And like I don't think you can like, just assume. Randomology also say, but I feel that don't go to sleep angry. But there's other ways to interpret it. It can be referred to you cooling down and reflect on yourself first. But the way this quote can also mean that you don't have to solve the problem now, but must say I love you and I want to work things out with you. We cool it off then talk about when we feel better. Yeah.
Yes.
I guess
absolutely.
So. I don't think it's like a hard and fast rule. I think it's like the more I read this r/love advice thing with John, right, the more I realize that like relationship comes in like different shapes and forms.
Absolutely.
And even if like this relationship to the outside world looks toxic as fuck, right, but they are both like somehow happy and okay with it, right, it's like, sure, dude, go ahead, you do you, whatever works for you. So it's not even like, I don't even think there's like a right or wrong way to do a relationship. It's just like a match thing, and if the relationship works for you, it works for you. If the relationship doesn't, it doesn't. And unfortunately, that's just how it is. And I feel like we always come back to the same conclusion. But John, do you have any other advice for this person?
Yeah, I do, and that would be to, like what I mentioned, build upon that apology, but also give them space. You understand that you are the one that is now needing to win back their favor because of something you said. So you need to muster up more humility and a more giving heart to reach out to this person, because this person is the one that's currently in pain, so you can't ask more from somebody who's in pain, right? And yeah, it's this kind of very unspoken dynamic that helps people come back from emotional spaces. And that's what I think people in future, if they ever encounter, they need lah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we come to the end of the episode already. If you guys want us to react to more r/relationship advice or a specific thread, go and leave it down in the comments down below. We might. We always come to the same conclusion. I always meme on this, but we always come to the same conclusion at the end of the day for all this love advice. And I've said it 1,000 times already, so we don't have to say it again. But I hope you guys found this episode interesting. Do let us know what you guys want to hear from from us for the rest of the year. We are coming to our 100th episode also. So if you guys have any ideas for the 100th episode, it's like, I think this episode is episode 94. So we are like 1.5 months away from the 100th episode. I hope you guys...
We're almost there.
Yeah, hope you guys continue supporting us and stay tuned to the 100th and beyond. Stay safe, don't get COVID, and see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, boy.